Hello students, today we are going to learn about the prolactin releasing hormone or PRH. This hormone is a part of a beautiful system between the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland which control the release of many hormones in our body. Now, the prolactin is the important hormone in our body that helps in milk production in mothers after a childbirth. Now, what controls this prolactin? So that is where the prolactin releasing hormone and dopamines come from. The prolactin releasing hormone is the hormone that releases from the hypothalamus and activate the anterior pituitary to synthesize and release the prolactin into the bloodstream. And also the dopamine which come from the hypothalamus and it stops the release of the prolactin from the anterior pituitary. Now, where exactly the prolactin releasing hormone is made? So, the prolactin releasing hormone is made in small part of hypothalamus which is called the arcuate nucleus. The hypothalamus having a cluster of neurons is called nuclei, each nucleus having its own important function. So one is the arcuate nucleus which synthesize and release the prolactin releasing hormone and also the dopamine. So you can imagine this nucleus is a small control system inside the brain. So from here a special nerve cell release small chemical messengers that goes to the anterior pituitary through a small blood connection which is called the hypophyseal portal system. So these messengers tell the anterior pituitary to release the prolactin hormone. Now how the prolactin hormone works? So when the prolactin releasing hormone reaches a special type of cell in the anterior pituitary which is called the lactotroph cells. So the prolactin releasing hormone stimulate these lactotroph cells, and from the lactotroph cell the release of prolactin occurs. So the prolactin travels to the mammary gland and helps in making milk. But the prolactin releasing hormone is not a single hormone. It is actually a group of hormones that work together. For example, the TRH, thyrotrophin releasing hormone, also the VIP, vasoactive intestinal peptide, and sometimes the oxytocin during sucking. The thyrotrophin releasing hormone also stimulates the lactotroph cell to release the prolactin, because the receptor for the TRH and also for the prolactin releasing hormone are same. So that is why the thyrotrophin releasing hormone also stimulates the release of the prolactin into the bloodstream. Now, when the prolactin releasing hormone become active, so it is more active during sucking, that is when the baby feed from the breast or when the baby suck from the nipple, the sensory neuron send signal to the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus stop the release of the dopamine and it start the release of the prolactin releasing hormone, and it activate the lactotroph cell and the pituitary gland which release the prolactin into the bloodstream. So these two are opposite. When the PRH level is high in the blood, the dopamine will be low. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter and it is also act like hormone. It can stop the release of the prolactin because it inhibit these cells to stop the release of the prolactin hormone. Now it having a feedback control. When the prolactin level is too high, it sends a message back to the hypothalamus to make the dopamine again. So this keep a balance between the hormone, so the body know exactly when to make more milk and when to stop. Now, what is the clinical importance of the prolactin? Now, let's talk about what happens if this system goes wrong. So, if the prolactin releasing hormone activity or if the PRH activity increases too much, the dopamine level will be low and the prolactin level can become too high. So this condition is called hyperprolactinemia. The condition is called hyperprolactinemia. It can cause some important clinical disorder which contain the galacturia, amenorrhea, infertility, decreased libido, and many other. Now, one clinical disorder is the galacturia. So, in the galacturia, the milk discharge from breast even when the female is not pregnant. Amenorrhea is irregular or absent menstrual cycle. So, this is occur due to high prolactin level in the blood or high PRH level. And it also lead to infertility. High prolactin level also lead to infertility because when the prolactin level is too much high in the blood or when the PRH level is too much high, it can stop the release of gonadotropin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus. So gonadotropin releasing hormone is the important hormone which stimulates the anterior pituitary to release the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. So these two hormones are very important in egg and sperm production. So that's why high prolactin level lead to infertility. Now, why this happen? This has happened due to the pituitary tumor which is called prolactinoma or because of certain drugs that can block the dopamine. So some important drugs that drop the dopamine are the antipsychotic drugs which block the D2 dopamine receptor, such as the chlorpromazine, risperidone, olanzapine, antiemetic drug which also block the D2 dopamine receptor and chemoreceptor trigger zone. It contains the metoclopramide, domperidone, etc. Antidepressant drugs such as fluoxetine, SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, sertraline, amitriptyline. So these are the important drugs which can block the dopamine level and which lead to the high PRH prolactin releasing hormone which lead to hyperprolactinemia. Now, uh, another important thing is in hypothyroidism, the TRH level also rise the prolactin in blood because the TRH can also stimulate the leptotrophil to release the prolactin. So student, prolactin releasing hormone is not just one chemical, it's a signal system from the hypothalamus. It tells the body when it's the time to make milk and the dopamine tells it when to stop. So this balance keep our endocrine system perfect, like a switch that turn on or turn off exactly when needed. In our next part, we will discuss in detail that how amenorrhea, infertility, decreased libido are related to the prolactin releasing hormone and the prolactin imbalance. Because understanding this condition is very important in real medical practice and diagnosis the endocrine problems.